We've all been there. It's 6 a.m., you're exhausted on a treadmill staring at a calorie counter that barely moves. You cut carbs, you track every bite, and you suffer. But 3 months later, you're right back where you started. Here's the cold truth. 95% of diets fail. It's not because you're lazy, it's because your body is a survival machine. When you starve yourself, your brain doesn't see fitness goals. It sees a famine. It pulls the emergency brake on your metabolism and floods your system with ghrelin, the hunger hormone. You aren't just fighting a craving, you're fighting millions of years of evolution. But look at the paradox in Japan. Their obesity rate is just 4.5%, while in the US it's nearly 40%. That's a tenfold difference. Is it genetics? No. Is it the gym? Definitely not. Only 3% of Japanese people even have a gym membership. They eat white rice, noodles, and snacks daily. Their secret isn't willpower, it's environmental design. They've built a world where staying slim is the default setting, not a daily battle. Today we're exploring 9 habits that reprogram your relationship with food, without starving yourself or living in the gym. But before we break down the habits, we need to eliminate the excuses. Actually, no. Let's start with myth number 1, genetics. Research on migration, such as the landmark Nihon-san study, shows that when Japanese families move to the US, they quickly begin to match American obesity rates. If it were just DNA, they'd stay slim regardless of where they lived. So if genes aren't the shield, what about lifestyle purity? Myth number 2, the perfect lifestyle. You'd expect them to have 0 bad habits, but according to the World Health Organization, WHO, Japanese men smoke at nearly double the rate of Americans. While smoking is a major health risk, it proves their slimness isn't coming from a perfectly clean lifestyle. All right, then maybe it's discipline in the gym? Myth number 3, the gym. In the US, about 20% of us pay for gym memberships. In Japan, it's just 3%. So we've ruled out DNA, we've ruled out perfection, we've ruled out the gym, which leaves one powerful idea. Their daily life is engineered differently. Now we can finally look at the habits. If staying slim in Japan starts anywhere, it starts in childhood. Habit 1, early training. In Japan, food education, called shokuiku, is literally a national law. While many Western schools serve pizza or nuggets, Japanese children eat nutritionist-planned meals like grilled fish, seaweed, and miso soup. They even help serve the food. And here's the key. When you grow up eating this every single day, your brain locks in a new definition of normal. Vegetables aren't punishment. They're baseline. They aren't forced to eat healthy as adults. They crave it. But childhood conditioning is only part of the story. What happens when you're busy, stressed, and need food fast? That's where habit 2 quietly takes over. Habit 2, healthy convenience. In the West, fast food usually means grease. But in Japan, a 7-Eleven can feel like a nutrition store in disguise. Grilled salmon, rice balls, fresh salads, affordable, accessible. Here's the real insight. You don't need heroic willpower when the easiest option is already decent. You aren't fighting temptation. You've removed it. But even with healthy options, portion size can quietly undo everything. Which brings us to a rule almost no one talks about outside Japan. Habit 3, Hara Hachi Bu. A philosophy of eating until you're only 80% full. At first that sounds simple, almost too simple, but here's why it works. Humans are wired with something called unit bias. We feel satisfied when we finish what's in front of us, not necessarily when we're physically full. In the West, our unit is massive, one giant plate. In Japan, it's several small bowls, so you still get the psychological reward of finishing your meal, just without the overload. But there's another silent driver of overeating, and it hides in something much smaller: sugar. Habit 4, sugar perception. In Japan, a soda can is often just 150 ml, less than half the Western size. At first glance, that seems minor, but when portions stay small consistently, your brain recalibrates. Research shows that after reducing sugar for 2 months, people perceive the same foods as 40% sweeter. In other words, you don't need extreme restrictions. You need time and repetition. But food isn't just about what you eat. It's also about when you eat. And that rhythm matters more than most people realize. Habit 5, structured eating. Most Japanese people eat at the same time every day. This predictability acts like a stabilizer for your hunger hormones. When your body expects lunch at 1 p.m., it doesn't panic at 11 a.m. Discipline isn't loud, it's scheduled. But even perfect timing wouldn't matter if the rest of your day was completely sedentary. Here's where things get interesting. Habit 6, natural movement. In science, it's called NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Instead of one intense hour at the gym, movement is woven into daily life. Walking to the train, climbing stairs, standing more often, it's invisible exercise. And because it doesn't feel like punishment, it's sustainable. But there's one final factor most people completely overlook. It's not what you eat. It's not when you eat. It's how fast you eat. Habit 7, the speed of food. Your brain takes about 20 minutes to register fullness. By using chopsticks, meals naturally slow down. Smaller bites, more pauses. You're no longer racing your own hunger signals. And when speed slows down, awareness increases, which leads to the final and most subtle habit of all, respect. In Japan, eating is almost a mini ceremony. No scrolling, no rushing, no multitasking. Research shows distracted eating can increase calorie intake by up to 20% because your brain misses fullness signals. When you sit, focus, and appreciate your food, you reconnect with your body's built-in regulation system. One viewer, an older woman, found that this one shift finally reduced stubborn belly fat that years of gym sessions couldn't fix. The Japanese secret isn't a miracle diet, it's a system built on balance, rhythm, and respect. When you stop fighting your biology and start designing your surroundings, staying slim stops being a battle and starts becoming your default. Which of these habits feels the most doable for you? Let me know in the comments.